always great to get you on the line and always great to speak to you because we always know that we're going to get a frank assessment from you. So what is your view? How significant is this investment treaty in reality for European businesses?
Well, first of all, it's a deal. After 7 years of discussions, it was wonderful to see how Angela Merkel actually put an end to it in summer by saying either we get this done this year or we walk away. And I think that really helped over the finishing line. And she was on the call yesterday evening as well. And so we're very happy about the fact that, they stopped talking and now we can walk. The other thing is that, of course, we have to look into the details. There are some areas where we see improvements in real estate and finance, insurance. We see new energy vehicles, more independence for European business. But again, this deal will be hashed out vetted by the lawyers over 2021. And then we have to get this deal past the European Parliament. That's another body that will look into the content of this. But business is happy that this is concluded.
Okay, and you touched on some of the sectors that will be impacted there. Can you give us a sense of which businesses you think will benefit the most?
I guess it's the service sector. I mean, manufacturing does quite well in China. You can see it with the cars, chemicals, machine building, that actually is all over the place. Services have been very constrained in healthcare as well as domestic transportation, again, in real estate and in education and so forth. Now, again, we have to wait for the details, but the indicators that we got from the European Commission point that we definitely have a door open where we all of a sudden can do stuff that we were not able to do in the past.
I know it's early days and you're still wanting and keen to go through the details of the deal, of course. Do you have a sense of the shortcomings, though, at this point of this agreement?
No deal is perfect. I guess that the shortcomings are possibly still, we have a negative list, something that we always resented. We have no negative list in Europe for Chinese business. We actually, from the legislation, we get told these areas you cannot invest. Now we have to see how that squares off with this deal, but still we have these constraints. And as you know, Tom, we have every year this position paper of the chamber, solid 400 pages with more than 900 recommendations. We have to work through the details in order to see where we have real improvements. The shortcomings are possibly, when you look at the negotiation side that wanted to have a stronger sustainability basket, there has been some very soft language on forced labor, on ILO ratification and so forth. So the soft part of that could actually be challenged by the European Parliament in the second part of 2021.
Do you think it gets passed ultimately by the European Parliament?
Well, I guess I hope it will be passed. I mean, business really can't wait forever. This is something where we have done the first step. It's in the right direction. Of course, I know the concerns by parliamentarians about the human rights situation in China. That will not go away anytime soon. So in a way, I really hope that our parliamentarians are pragmatic and actually pass this deal through the system in order for us to implement more jobs in Europe and get more business done with China. After all, China stands for 30% of global growth over the next 10 years. So we really want to be part of that. And the deal opens the door for at least some of the stuff that we couldn't do now.
Jörg, you touched on the question of human rights. And of course, that has been a criticism from some members of parliament in Brussels, members of the European Parliament. I guess the question for some will be, should the Europeans be striking a trade deal, an investment deal with China, with a country that is jailing journalists, that according to the United Nations has as many as 1 million people held in camps in Xinjiang, that is involved and engaged in what the Canadians call hostage diplomacy?
You know, this is a system inherent, I would call it. It's, as a European, of course, we cannot welcome this. We are having a very different system back home, and it is very unfortunate what's going on. At the same time, this is, again, a market access deal. And we have seen that Australia, Japan, Korea signed up to RCEP beginning of this month, and there were none of these sustainability baskets being mentioned. And phase one US-China deal in January this year equally has much less language on forced labor in there than the European. So in a way, European negotiators managed to push the envelope for the first time on this one. But again, I think they made it very clear, this is first step, this is market access. When it comes to these human rights issues, we really have to find a better toolbox to deal with China in a separate occasion.
Okay, what is your response to some within the incoming Biden administration who have said, look, the EU should have waited, they should have waited until Biden was in office, and then they should have pursued a coordinated approach with the US when it comes to China?
Well, I can understand the anxiety. I mean, you know, we have a lot of grievances together. Our American partners in AmCham come up with a list very similar to ours. We have to defend an international system together with a like-minded. We are very happy that Biden team possibly looks more favorable at teaming up with us on this one. But at the same time, we should not wait. We should not wait for the Biden administration to sort things out. We wait for what? We don't know if China will be more responsive, if the three parties sit together. We don't know the timeline. Shall we wait another 2 or 3 years? So in a way, again, Angela Merkel's policy or idea at the beginning of this year, when there was not clear who's going to win the U.S. elections, to actually finalize something, get over it, get it done, it was very much welcomed by European business. Why wait? That doesn't exclude the fact that we can put together a program, talk to the Chinese in a coherent manner, the OECD countries possibly all together. But again, this is very much unknown. We like the fact that this could be a coalition, but at this stage, get it done and go on with this.
Do you think Jorg lays the foundation for an EU-China free trade deal?
I don't think so. This is too far away. I mean, a free trade deal that the Europeans have with Vietnam or Singapore, Korea is much, much more broader and deeper. Again, this is a very narrow position that we have taken last night. This also indicates that only the European Parliament has to say yes. Keep in mind that the deals with Canada or Japan, for example, had to be approved by 38 member states' parliaments, 38. And to assume that this can be negotiated in my lifetime and approved by 38 member states' parliaments, this possibility, and I tend to live long, is not going to happen.
Okay, just one last quick one, Jorg, on the national security review law that has been implemented here in China. A response to that, because of course there's concerns that it may lead to further restrictions around foreign investment.
I mean, this is a paper that is building on a 2011 regulation, so it's really nothing new. It is more hazy in language, and it definitely is something that under some of our business partners. But at the same time, we are dealing with this kind of national security law, the cybersecurity law, biometric law that makes the chamber go. I mean, we are called in to consult. We are trying to make it amicable. And don't forget, China wants foreign investment. China wants foreign high technology. So I guess the last thing they do is to come up with a law that actually tells foreign high tech, stay away.